This is openSUSE Tumbleweed, the rolling release version. We'll install and test its performance. Where do you think it ranks? We boot the ISO. Boot time is average, though hardware detection takes a bit. Let's hope there is a good reason for that delay. The graphical installer opens, looking sharp with good contrast. It configures the network and downloads repository descriptions. Next, it shows the license agreement, which includes some copyright aspects. It asks us for the language and keyboard layout. Now, it asks if we want to enable online repositories. We say yes. After the configuration is complete, we click on the next button. Then, it asks for the system role, meaning the desktop environment. For this test, we pick XFCE. Now, on to the partitioning. It suggests a partition scheme. We choose Guided Setup. We select the disk and tell it to remove everything that is unnecessary. Next, we choose disk encryption, file system type, snapshots, separate partitions, and swap. These settings are crucial for use. It now applies the partition changes. A map appears asking for our region and time zone. Once selected, we click on Next again. We enter the name, user, password, and confirmation. We also keep the same password for admin and auto-login options selected. We click Install to start. openSUSE is sponsored by SUSE, a German firm. Its first release was in 1994, known as SUSE Linux. Once the installation finishes, we restart. The system boots for the first time. We wait for the desktop environment to load up. Upon entry, a welcome window appears. We close it. We check the environment, panel, and menu to see the pre-installed software. We open the terminal and increase the font size for better visibility. We update the system using the sudo zyper refresh command. We enter the password. During the update, a new key or signature is received. It asks whether we want to accept or reject it. We install the necessary packages for the system evaluation, mainly Fastfetch and Sysbench, to properly test the performance. We run Fastfetch to see system info. We get a very recent kernel version, memory, and package counts show very adequate values. We use commands to verify the info, which is correct. We check the boot time, which is average compared to other distributions. We run Sysbench. We start with the CPU on one thread to see system processing. We get a result that is well above the average. Now, we test the CPU with 5 threads to check processing capacity. We also obtain a result that is clearly above the average. We test threads with the Sysbench to evaluate the system's concurrency management. In this specific case, we get an excellent result. Now, we test mutexes to evaluate the efficiency of mutual exclusion logs. Once again, the result obtained is truly excellent. Next, we run a memory read test to evaluate the efficiency when accessing data. We obtain a very good result for this specific test. We run a memory write test to evaluate data saving efficiency. Once again, we obtain a very good result for the system performance. Now we prepare the files needed to perform the disk input and output test with Sysbench, using a total size of 1 GB. We run the random read and write test to evaluate disk performance. We obtain both results very low compared to other systems. Then, we run the top command to check the memory consumed by a Firefox window. Then, we open a new tab with a YouTube video. We continue opening a third and fourth tab, seeing the increase in memory usage. The average consumption per tab is quite fair. We have finished the system evaluation. Next, we present a summary of the results obtained from the various tests performed. In conclusion, openSUSE has a very modern and guided installer. Kernel, memory, and disk are fine. Performance was overall average, but concurrency and memory were excellent. The only problem was disk speed. openSUSE currently sits at number 20 in our ranking. That is all for this video. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a like and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.